And we're live.
And we're live and getting comfortable
Yep.
and setting up. Welcome everybody to the live session.
Yeah, we're so
So
excited to be here.
we are excited. We're looking forward to it. I know a lot of you have had questions for a while. So we're going to try to make this as super information packed as possible. But we're going to wait a few minutes because people are going to be shuffling in.
Mhm.
So let's keep an eye out on the Facebook group itself.
Yeah. See who's showing up. If you are on watching us, say hi. I'll be watching the chat so we can answer some of your questions even there, or we can actually see your questions. We already saw lots of questions coming in on the original post, and we'll be answering all of those. But if you have additional questions, just go ahead and post them right now under this, because we are going to keep an eye on them. So Naeem, how's your coffee?
So I have my fuel
Your
for
fuel?
for the day, my morning fuel. So
Yeah.
the coffee is really good.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, Facebook user says hi. Hey, great name, Facebook user.
That's a good one. Hi.
Yeah. In case the NSA is watching and listening, right? He's playing it
Never
safe.
know.
Yeah, he's playing it safe.
Yep.
Hello, everyone.
Look,
Yeah,
it's
this might be a Be Live that's actually covering their names.
Mm-hmm.
So let me take a
Yes.
look in the feed itself. So guys, bear with us because this is our first live that we're doing using Be Live. So there may be a few technical glitches. So please be patient. But I promise you, we will get better. Oh, actually, So Be Live is masking your names, but I actually see in the Facebook feed now, Imran is saying hi. So, so Eva, you might want to pull up your Facebook page and see. Might be better to see the questions there. So Obaid says hey. Asif says hi. Okay, awesome. Hey guys, appreciate you guys jumping on. So we're going to start in a minute or two. Let's just let everybody shuffle in. And what I'm going to say is go ahead and post any questions here as well. If you've already asked a question, we're going to take it from that other thread. But if you have a new question or you haven't asked a question, feel free to ask in this thread and we will jump on it. So again, let's wait another 2 minutes, let everybody settle in. Somebody says there's a bit of a lag. Yeah, you know, that's unfortunately with technology, it's never perfect, but it will be recorded and hopefully. I know there is a lag between the Be Live and Facebook slightly, but you know, I think it's bearable. So speaking of, go ahead, Eva.
Oh no, I was going to say when I have done just regular Facebook, there was always a lag from me seeing myself and then also what it showed when it showed on Facebook as well. So I don't know if it's the same or worse. But it should work.
Yeah. So speaking of coffee, so we've had to discover, you know, what coffee we like here in Malaysia, and it's interesting. They have something called a white coffee, and it's everywhere you go, including grocery stores. So we were looking for just, you know, regular coffee like we've been drinking for years and years, which is just beans and processing the beans, and you know, that's it. But with white coffee, they actually roast it because Penang is all about food. They roast the beans in butter. And,
butter?
And yeah, in butter, sometimes other stuff. So it's a very, very rich coffee. They put a lot of cream in there, and then of course sugar, and it's kind of all pre-made. You know, it tastes really good, but if you're trying to watch your weight, it may not be the best thing for you. So
I guess not.
Having 3 of those a day is probably going to add a few pounds pretty quick.
Yeah, it's probably like 1,000 calories a cup.
right, exactly.
Wow, there goes that. So yeah, that sounds good though. Sounds pretty yummy. I gotta try one of those when I'm there for at
It
least
tastes
once.
great. It tastes great. Yeah. Now we did end up finding beans, and then we just got a processor, at
Hmm.
home, and kind of just do our own coffee at home like we did in the U.S. So that's nice
Right. You mean beans without the butter roasting?
without the butter. Yeah,
I see. Okay,
without
good.
without the
Good, good.
butter. All
Huh.
right. So I think we can go ahead and get started. Let me turn
All
back
right.
to the questions here. Okay, so all right, guys. So we're gonna try to commit to about 30 minutes of Q and A's, and we've got a number of you that have asked a question previously on the previous thread. So we're just gonna go down the list and start answering the questions. Okay, and again, if you have some more questions, feel free to add them to the live, and we'll go from there. Okay, so.
I can start reading the questions, Naim, if you want. I have them up.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, if you want to just tackle, just start
Yeah.
reading it and just start tackling, that'll be great.
Sure. Okay. So, first of all, we wanted to give you a shout out because you have been an amazing member, welcoming everyone and being very engaging, and we really enjoy that. And thank you for making everyone feel home. So first, that I just wanted to say that. So that's really, really nice of you.
Yeah,
And
awesome
thank
job,
you.
Imran. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you definitely. And since you are the very first one who posted some questions, so we'll start with you. And the very first question that you had is, what platform will we use to monitor source price changes and inventory? So we have tried a lot of different platforms, web scraper apps, sales freaks, SKU and after testing those, we decided to stick with SKU, and simply because they seem to be on top of it. They have lots of upgrades, and if you set it up correctly, everything is going to be monitored, such as out of stock, price changes. You are the one who sets up the rules for everything you want, so it's really helpful. And the other thing is, the price on it's quite attractive compared to the other ones. At least we found Sales Freaks. I think we paid like $400 for that, didn't we, Naeem? A month or
Right.
something crazy. I remember. And with SKU Grid, I think it's about $90 for the level variant, and then we also pay for buy box algorithm in there too. So you actually can be put in the buy box. So that's a really good deal. So we find that's the best for us, and that's what we've been using for quite some time now. Naim, you have anything else on that?
Yeah, so yeah, we like Eva said, we did extensive testing on a number of different platforms, and we actually did an analysis of the cost per listing, what it was going to break out to. But obviously, it's not the cost that you want to just look at. You want to look at the performance of the platform. Is it managing the inventory correctly? Is it managing the pricing correctly, et cetera? And we found SKU Grid to be the best. Now, we have not come across a platform that's 100% correct all the time, right? This is very complicated stuff. You're talking about syncing price and inventory, and they're very, very dynamic. They're changing all the time. So we found SKU Grid to be the most reliable platform out of all the different platforms out there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So what platform? Okay, we talked about that. Okay, what about the risk of Amazon shutting down accounts, prohibited items? Do you want me to talk about that, or do you want to talk about that, Eva?
Go ahead, talk about that.
Okay. All right. So actually, give me 1 second because the fan, for some reason, is off.
Oh, okay.
A little warm. I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, I can talk about it too. It's not a big deal. So, as far as prohibited items go, there are lists going around in the community. Basically, that is an Excel sheet, I think, if I'm correctly remembering that, and that tells you, which companies have actually complained about sellers selling their items. And so people in the community put this list together and they keep adding it there. So as you are looking for items to list for your drop shipping, you just have to check those lists. Now we also have our own list that we put together with our teams, and it's growing as well. And so you just kind of have to look around and see where you find those lists, and we do have access to those, and make sure that the item you want to list is not going to be on that list.
Right.
Simple as that.
Okay, so, and I'll add to that. So, what about the risk of Amazon shutting down your account? Okay, so look, guys, here's the reality of it. If I said to you that Amazon is never going to shut your account down because if you do A, B, and C, and D, and F, and so on and so forth, I would be lying. And if anybody tells you that, they are lying. At the end of the day, Amazon is Amazon. And, you know, we have known Amazon to shut down certain accounts for God knows what reason. And our partner is still trying to figure out what exactly they did wrong. You could be shut down for IP infringement. You could be shut down for inauthentic product. You could be shut down for a number of things. And, unfortunately, people do get shut down. So, look, we said that we were going to be transparent. We're not going to be selling cars and being slick. And the transparent part of this is a business and there is risk, and you need to understand that, and you need to appreciate that. I know that Eva nor I would feel good about painting just a rosy picture and telling you, go ahead and put in $50,000, $5,000, whatever money you want to, and feel, like there's no risk. That's just not reality. That's not true for Amazon. That's not true for any business. That's just the way it is. So what we do talk about is best practices to prevent your account from shutting down. And there's a lot of good best practices, and we follow. Now, we have millions of dollars invested with Amazon, with the sales that we're doing, and so on and so forth. So you better believe we've been through this. We've done our research. We have a pretty good idea of what might get your account shut down. And, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure those things out. You just got to make sure that you're getting products from reliable sources, have good documentation, so on and so forth. So I think we need to do a whole session, and this will be part of content that we'll be delivering in the course about exactly what to do. But at a high level, I will tell you that any Amazon business comes with that inherent risk of being shut down if you are going to be doing things that are clearly against what Amazon is asking for, their terms of service. Now, there are some gray areas, and we can talk about those, but at a high level, that's what I can tell you. Okay, next question. Who are your source providers? Are we using Shopify, Duty Tax, USA tax exemption? All right, do you want to talk about source providers and tax exemption, Eva?
Yeah. Okay, so source providers. First of all, when you sign up for SKUGrid, you will have access to 470 plus suppliers that other people and us use as their suppliers. And yes, there are a lot of people who use Walmart and Home Depot. There is a lot of big companies, Sportsman's Guide, Sears, Kmart, Target, Lowe's, there's Dick's Sporting Goods, Costco even. You can, drop ship from Harbor Freight or any of those. But like I said, if you go on, and this is what actually we'll teach also, when you go on SKUGrid, you can easily find other suppliers as well who are actually going to be happy to drop ship with. So, and it's just, you need to know your criteria, what you're looking for, what fits in your model of business as a good product as far as profit margins go. You also need to figure out how their refund policy, return policies are. How do they deal with that? Because that's a huge factor when you are drop shipping, because you will get returns, you will get refunds, you will find those clients who are not happy, sadly, and you will need to take care of those. And you want to make sure whoever is your supplier that they will take returns and refund the money for you.
All right.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a huge hole in your business, and that's good.
Absolutely.
So, and then tax exemptions, yes. So a lot of them will offer tax exemptions, and we will explain more about that in the course too. But tax exemptions are a must. You know, if it's offered by the supplier, you must have that, because that's the only way you can be competitive on Amazon. So that's an absolute must, and we will walk you through that.
Yeah, and if you're not doing tax exemption, you're basically getting hit twice on tax, right? Once from Amazon, and then once from the supplier. So definitely you have to do tax exemption. It's I'm not going to say it's very complicated, but it's very administrative. A lot of things you need to do step by step, you know. So, but again, that's something that that we can do a whole separate module on, just to walk through that.
Right.
Next question, Imran is asking, are we using buyer's or seller's account? I'm not sure I understand that.
Me neither.
You have your Amazon seller account, which is your Seller Central.
Right. And I'm not sure. To have the seller account, the Seller Pro account. It's not buyers. Definitely, that's how you list your products.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be using your Amazon Prime purchasing account to fulfill on the same Amazon seller. That's a big no-no. You're going to get suspended for that. So we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So next one, Naeem Ahmed is asking a quick how to get started today guide. Yeah. So hopefully these videos are giving you guys, you know, we're trying to structure these videos in a way to get you started, right? And the course definitely that's coming up sometime this month is going to be a step-by-step, detailed roadmap on exactly what to do and build a business to, you know, $1 million or whatever you can do. The quick step I would recommend is, look, guys, number one, get yourself an Amazon Seller Central account. All right, pay the $40 or, you know, whatever it is for the Pro account. All right. Number two, go ahead and start doing some research and see what sells on Amazon, drop shipping from whichever your store you're wanting to purchase from. And then number three, go ahead and make those purchases and try. So, you know, a lot of you are going to get inundated in the beginning. There's a lot of paralysis by analysis, saying, okay, which product? Where do I start? What's the source? What do I do? How do I? My point is, look, if you can spend $100 on products, that's just learning, right? Your first products are not going to be money makers. You have to go through the practice of understanding how to list the product, how to look at the competition once you list the product, how to understand your margins from your cost, and so on and so forth. So my whole point is, the quickest get started guide for anybody is to go ahead, create your accounts, purchase a few products every week, and just start flipping those products. It's you're just going to learn a ton from the actual exercise of selling, and then naturally that'll lead to getting better at it every time and improving it. And then again, our course is going to come in and help you, kind of give you some of those insights and speed that whole process along.
Also, how to find profitable products will be in the course as well. Definitely.
Absolutely. Okay. Next one, Ovais is asking, which, Ovais, I know you've been asking this many times, and I've done my best to try to answer you all those times in the various threads, but I will try again. All right, so Ovais says, retail dropshipping will lead to suspension. Now I'm waiting to see what kind of workarounds Naeem has to offer. Okay. All right. And Andy's asking, hey, Ovais, I'm new to dropshipping. So retail dropshipping means from supplier to end user. So let's answer the easy question. So Andy, yes, retail dropshipping is basically purchasing a product from Home Depot and then selling that to the customer through Amazon and having it shipped to the customer. Either you're buying it and taking physical possession of that product and then shipping it yourself to the customer, or you're having Home Depot ship it to the customer. Now, to answer your question, Ovais, look, here's the thing. What Amazon allows is, number one, retail drop shipping is absolutely allowed, right? Meaning that I can sell Home Depot stuff and Walmart stuff all day long. They're just products, right? What I cannot do, according to their terms, is have Home Depot ship it directly to the customer or Walmart ship it directly to the customer, okay? That's pretty much spelled out as well. Now, having said that, and I want to be very, very careful about this because this is really, worth understanding and appreciating some of the risks here. There are tons and tons and tons of sellers who do exactly that. Okay, they basically purchase from Walmart and have Walmart ship it directly to the customer, and Home Depot ship it directly to the customer. Yeah. This is really a personal choice. You're playing in the gray area, okay? But as I've said before, Amazon is not stupid. Amazon is one of the smartest companies on the planet. And Amazon knows that products are being shipped from retailers directly to their customers. Now, if they choose not to do anything about it today, then I'm going to take advantage of that, as millions of other sellers are. But that's a comfort level that is good for me. It's good for Eva, and we do that. Now, having said that, we also do direct. Direct drop shipping, meaning we are receiving goods and shipping them out ourselves, right? We also do some private labels. So we have multiple lines of business because we don't want all of our eggs in one basket. But if Amazon does come around to you and says, hey, why are you shipping stuff from Walmart to the customers? That's not allowed. Yeah, you are taking that risk. So you have to, at that point, acknowledge it and say, oh, sorry, we won't do it again, and so on and so forth. If they suspend your account because of that, again, that's something that you have to face and fight and put in a case and a plan of action, which we've had to do, and get your account. Are you going to recover your account 100% all the time? No. We know people that have not ever been, that have never recovered their account. But in the last 3 years of doing this, we've lost one account, but not our funds. We've always been able to recover our funds. So ultimately, I'm just going to wrap this up by saying what I said at the beginning of the call. Number one, there are risks involved. Number two, we're going to tell you as transparently as possible what the terms of service are with Amazon and what they are not. We're going to tell you what we are currently doing and what we are comfortable with. And we are never going to endorse anybody or push anybody to do something that you're not comfortable with. You have to understand the roadmap. And then based on your own personal choice, you make the decision that's best for you. If you get suspended or you're dealing with a suspension, we will tell you our experience, how we've dealt with that suspension and overcame it. We've overcome 99% of suspensions that we've worked with. And we've got over a dozen accounts for the last 2-3 years that we've been working with. We've lost one account permanently, but we still have close to a dozen accounts that we're running that have almost all of them gone through some suspension, and we've overcome them and we've recovered our funds. Yeah. Okay, so a lot about that. And again, I'm going to go back to, we're going to have templates on plan of actions and all that stuff, but that'll be in our course. And this is a little bit more advanced. So I don't think we need to spend more time on this. Hopefully I've given enough insight, to give you guys an understanding of this world and what can possibly happen.
Yeah, absolutely. The next question from Tony is sort of similar in that realm too, because he's asking how to handle inauthentic suspensions as its most common suspension reason for retail dropshipping. Again, we have gone through that. We provided receipts to Amazon. My store actually was kind of blocked for 3 months. I remember 2 years ago, and because an attorney came after me, accusing me of selling inauthentic items. And I just had to work with the attorney, and basically it took some time, but I provided my receipts, and everything was fine. And yes, Amazon held my money for that period of time, and it was not a little chunk either. So you have to be prepared and accept that there will be things like that that will come up if you are a serious seller. And it's just going to happen. It's like Naeem said, it's part of any business. You know, you may have some hurdles, but business is easy today, right? There's always something with it. So yeah, that happens. But again, receipts, and you will have the receipts whether you're drop shipping or doing it as a wholesale. It's a matter of receipts. And we're not drop shipping personally from China, from Alibaba or any of that. So it's not. It's always authentic what we sell, because everything we get is from authentic stores, or stores that sell authentic products. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's the
So, yeah, and that's a perfect example, because the products that Eva was selling, they were authentic.
Yeah.
They weren't inauthentic, but she got hit with a inauthentic claim, and
Yeah.
so then she pursued it, and used certain templates and worked with an attorney. That's kind of an extreme case, but that's part of the business. You have to be able to do that. Okay, so quick time check. It's
I know it's
almost half
5:28.
an hour. Yeah, so let's roll through some more as quickly as we can for another maybe
Yeah, so I
5
think we have questions on Be Live that we can see.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So let's jump over to that.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
how to start, where to start, what to do, how to do.
Yeah. So okay. What is a good profit margin in drop shipping? Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
very quickly, on drop shipping, there's front end profit and there's back end profit. And the
Yeah.
front end profit, you should be looking at about 6%, 5 to 6%. On the back end profit, you should be looking at about 5 to 6%. So what's front end? What's back end? What does that mean? On the front end, that's basically you purchasing a coffee mug for $5 and selling it on Amazon for $12. You should be expecting to receive about 6%. All right. If you're not, then you shouldn't buy it. On the back end, in order for me to purchase this, I'm using a credit card, which is giving me cash back. I'm using cashback sites, which look at price differences. And so from that, I can expect another 3 to 6%. You put those two together, realistically, your profit margin should be anywhere between 8 to, if you're on a good day, 11%, 12% overall. It's the law of averages, right? On some orders, you're going to make only 3%. On other orders, you might hit 10%. So it just kind of, on the law of averages, you're targeting between a 6 to 12%.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Another question here. How do you handle, actually before that, how Walmart will deliver directly to the customer? So Walmart allows you to ship to any address. When you're placing your order, at that time, you're simply putting in the customer's information, and they will ship it directly to Walmart. Do you want to talk about the next one, Eva? Long shipping times?
Oh, how do you handle long shipping times with China suppliers? Okay, if you do choose to use China suppliers, basically you just have to disclose it. If you have a supplier that you know that they're gonna take 14 days to 21 days, in worst case scenario, I hope it's not more than that. You just have to put that in your listing. But like AliExpress nowadays have basically US warehouses where shipping is gonna be 5 to 7 business days. So maybe look into that if you're still thinking of using Chinese suppliers. But otherwise, everything, if you disclose it, it's in your listing, then it's fine, and if people read it and they realize, that that's how long it takes, they still purchase, then you should be covered. You just have to disclose. That's all. Anything like that, you just have to disclose.
Yeah, and I would say that you probably don't want to be dealing with
No.
Chinese suppliers.
We don't.
Drop shipping right now. Yeah. I know that some people do make a lot of money doing that, but it's not something that, using Shopify and other platforms, but it's not something that I recommend for beginners, because there's just a lot more involved, and there's a little more risk involved with delayed times and shipping and so on and so forth. So stick to the US is probably safer and easier. in the beginning until you get to that point where you want to try some experiments with China
Yeah.
suppliers.
And that's why I went back to SKUGrid. If you look through the 470 plus suppliers on SKUGrid, I want to say 99% of them are US based. I know AliExpress is on there. I just looked it up. But do look at that list. That's where I would start, and then see which companies have the best policies. That kind of matches Amazon's policies, and then drill into that company's catalog and see if there are products that are much cheaper that are already selling on Amazon and that you could make profit with. So that's kind of what I would do.
Yeah, so Jay is asking a question. If I decide to invest $10,000, what's a realistic turnaround after a year? Do you want to cover that, Eva?
Well, first of all, you don't have to invest $10,000
Yeah,
because you're drop shipping. You're not investing. Basically, all you're leveraging is your credit card limit. So if we have a 10K credit card limit, you can start with that. Hopefully you can build it to even more, because as you grow, you're gonna need it. You can juggle credit cards, as well. We do sometimes use several, so it just depends on what limits you have on the credit cards. Again, and what Naeem said, what can you expect as a profit? What Naeem just said with the profit margins, anywhere from, I don't know, 5 to 12%, somewhere in there, from the front end and the back end. And then there are other softwares or other companies' apps that you can use that will go even after you have done all that. And we'll look into all your purchases through your email and find out if the particular supplier has lowered down the prices after you purchase the product, and you'll get more money back. So there is that as well. So there is a lot of little ways to make extra income here.
And they add
So
up.
yes,
Yep.
yeah, it all adds up. Mhm.
They add up. Okay, so let's do a few more, and then I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, and then we can answer the questions later too in typing as well. So in Facebook, whatever we didn't get to answer live, we can still do that.
Yeah, so this is a really good question from Chuk in Tampa. Do you use software to automate the sourcing process, or do your VAs do this? So there are softwares that will do sourcing, and certainly, VAs out there are very skilled at finding products. So here's my recommendation. In the beginning, source the product yourself. First of all, you need to learn how to do this. You can't work with a VA if you yourself, don't know how to source the product. You don't have to be the best sourcer in the world, but you have to understand every step of the process so that you can make sure the VA is doing a good job for you. As far as software is concerned, we've tested a bunch of different software, and we've offered the softwares to our teams, our VA product sourcing team, and they still source faster manually than the software.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So maybe,
I know.
Yeah, maybe there's just not a good enough software, and also because the data changes so often. Price changes, and all of a sudden that product is not good anymore. So the short answer is, the summary of this is, start sourcing yourself, but eventually the VA route is your best option. And if there's new software coming out, we're actually building some software that can help, but that's going to be 3 to 6 months down the road. So VA route is the best way to go, but make sure you understand how to do it yourself.
Right.
Okay. Next question, Eva.
So how long would it take a average to get a store up and run from product selection to seller page optimization? It depends on how fast you want to go. I guess that's what I would answer on that. How fast and how many items you're listing. And you can run a store. There were times when I only had like 106 listing, and the store sold over 100,000 a month, right? So you don't have to have thousands of listings. If you got the right listings, you can actually make pretty good money with. Realistically, pretty fast. It will take a few months. I'm not gonna lie, it won't be next month,
Right.
but to make big bucks, but it's doable. So you just have to get it going. you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going is my motto. I heard that once from a coach of mine, and it stuck with me. And that's what I'm going to always say, because that's really the reality. So
Yeah, just start. Okay, so next question.
Yeah.
This is from Nad Qureshi. If we buy some items in bulk, which is cheaper than the market for any reason, so we can buy, hold it with us, and then and when we get an order, we ship it directly to the buyer. Okay, so you're talking about wholesaling, right? You're talking about purchasing products from a supplier in bulk, getting it cheaper than what's currently available in retail, and then shipping it, fulfilling it yourself. So yes, we do wholesaling as well. We do purchase, but what we're talking about here is drop shipping. So it's just two different models. It's not necessarily one is better than the other. It's a question of what you're more comfortable with. You know, so some people make a great living just doing wholesaling, and others, you know, do have a great living just doing drop shipping, or both. So it's just two different models. I can't tell you if one is better than the other, but absolutely, the wholesaling model works. People do it all the time, and it's just a matter of your numbers, making sure that you can get to the market. There's risks involved on both sides. There's pros and there's cons on both sides. So that's the two different models there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next one, Eva.
How to get up in the ranks with your store or products? In other words, that people see your product. Okay, so it's gonna be reviews. It's gonna be how much you sell. So, you know, have a really good customer service is extremely important, and then that's kind of how Amazon is going to put you up. So if you have a very good account health, which you should have in the beginning anyway, and then the rest of it is you're gonna have to work on it with good customer service, basically. Then Amazon will put you up there. So again, ratings, reviews, you know, get good reviews, give good customer service, and you'll be put up front. And of course, your price. You know, you have to be competitive in your price. You can't be $10 more than the one in the buy box. You have to be you don't have to be, and that's the other thing that some people think. I always have to be below by a penny or 2 penny that the lowest is. No, you don't have to. You can be at the same or even a penny above whatever the lowest price is, because Amazon is going to rotate. As long as you have very good account health, Amazon is going to rotate the buy box.
Right. Right. Okay. Asif Shahzad is asking, considering the competition and how much they pump into paid ads, is there any particular strategies that can help us newbies gain an edge to compete? Okay, so when you're doing drop shipping, there's a difference between drop shipping and private label, right? In drop shipping, we are selling a set of Croc shoes, just to take a crazy example, right? A pair of Croc shoes, okay? They're already ranked at whatever rank they're sitting at. It's not just me selling that, but it's me and 16 other sellers. So I'm competing based primarily on price and my seller account reputation, right? So if I have a stellar performance and great feedback, then I'm going to win more of that buy box. And if my price is good, then I'm going to win that my share of the buy box. So you're not worried about paid ads, because these are brand names, and you know, we're not creating a marketplace for new products.
Right.
That's the difference between private label and dropship.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do too many paid ads in dropshipping at all. You know, I mean, I do a little bit, but it's not like I'm so focused on that. It's nothing major at all. Very little.
Yep.
So let's see. You spoke about back and say open a bank account in a country that charges less income tax comes under as well. Or should we just use the bank accounts where we live and just make it simple? Not sure if I'm overthinking. Okay, well, there are that's a very high level question. First of all, I want to say, you know, that's so I would say to keep it simple, and because we're talking to newbies here, if you're in the US, you know, open up your account there clear, and just the strategies we're talking about. What you're asking, I'm sorry, I don't see who is asking this particular question because I'm looking on BeLive, but that is a very high level,
more of a deal strategy. Yeah, we just want to
Yeah.
do a shout out. So it's Adil Prezetta asking that question.
Okay, yeah. So that's yeah, you could do that, but it would be very complicated. It can be done because Naeem and I have done a lot of tax savings kind of talks with attorneys and accountants, and especially because neither of us live in the U.S. anymore. So that's a whole different ball. So I wouldn't even consider that right at this
Not in
step.
the beginning.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, not in the beginning. But I will say that once you once you get into your millions of dollars, then absolutely you want to
Yes.
start thinking about offshore
Yep.
jurisdictions and
Right.
all of that. And
Shell
guys,
companies and all that.
yeah,
Mhm.
and guys, to be transparent, look, I'm living in Malaysia for a number of reasons, and one of those
Yeah.
big reasons is because I'm not paying tax over here, or I should say, you're always paying tax. I'm not paying nearly as much tax as I was in the US. I have drastically dropped my tax rate to almost 0%. So, but again, in the beginning, this is not anything you need to worry about or focus on.
Yeah.
This is like year 3,
Yep.
or year 2, or whatever it is, right? Once you start having big tax bills, which is a good problem to
Right.
have.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, do we want to wrap it up? I don't see any more questions.
Yeah, I do, but it's a black hat tactics. That's again, it's more advanced things, and also black hat tactics are not always the best.
Yeah, we're not going to teach that. We don't.
No.
Yeah, we don't do any black hat
No.
stuff. And look, there are sellers out there, just to talk about black hat for a second. There are sellers out there they just don't have any scruples. And we've seen the worst of the worst. So they will intentionally call out a product inauthentic case against you because they know that that's going to get you in trouble. So that's a black hat strategy, to get rid of your competition. There are sellers who sell counterfeit stuff and they send it in and they do mixed inventory, and now that could be listed under your name. I mean, there's all kinds of, unfortunately, black hat tactics, but we're both of the opinion that whatever you put out there eventually comes back to you. Exactly. And why even play in that area? There's so much abundance and there's so much good stuff out there. Just do things properly, and you have more than enough opportunity to make more money than you realize.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna wrap it up, Eva.
Yes, I think so too. So hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Good session. Good first Ask Me Anything session, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We tried to be as informative and as forthcoming and transparent as possible. If you did like this and you want us to do more of these, be sure to comment on this post. Be sure to share the group.
Well, not share, but invite your friends.
Invite your friends to the group.
Yeah.
Those that are ready, not those that are just going to sit there and do nothing, but those that are ready. Again, we're going over quality versus quantity. We don't want a 5,000 person group. We're okay with just 50 hardcore dedicated people who are committed to selling $1 million in 2020, because I think selling $1 million in 2020 is very realistic if you follow our system. And again, thanks for your time. We appreciate everything. If there's any questions we missed out, we'll drop in and answer them via Facebook post. Invite your friends, and have an awesome day, everybody.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.